Greetings, all greetings. There's stirring in my brain by an event that passed. And normally I never stop to go through these things, but this one I'm seeing the need to. I use that word need in very specific terms because I don't have to. But you see that clear area right there? And you see this dark clouds right there. Now, when I came outside, I looked that way and I said, wow, great day. I'm ready to go out. Now I look, and here I'm pausing and saying, man, it looks like it's going to rain. Should I go later? And that has to do with what I want to discuss today, what I want to talk about. After the so-called chattel slavery ended, where you were released from the plantation and told you were free to go work wherever you want to. Some people, say in the Caribbean, moved to Europe, Africa, and a few other areas of the world. If you go to Africa today, you might meet a people called the Aku. And everyone I've met have been pretty much either they or somebody in the family. Many of them in the family, actually. If you got a family of 10, maybe 5 or 6 of them are professionals, doctors, lawyers, etc. And they're all over West Africa. The same thing I can say for the people who left America for the place that they regarded as home in Africa, Liberia, to name one area. They went back to Liberia and rose into prominence very quickly, leadership in the country. Some Americans moved to the northern states or built their own communities in the south. Some Caribbean people, including my great-grandmother, moved to America because she had family in the Carolinas. A lot of us had family from the Caribbean in the Carolinas. And a lot of those people are still on the land that they got after slavery. The one that nobody wanted then, but now they're being forced off of because it is prime real estate. But they made a change for themselves. All the people who moved off the plantation got a change for themselves. The people who stayed around the plantation went into a type of servitude where they worked for the master. They leased his land, had to pay rent on the land, and they had to buy everything from his store. And with the rise of the Ku Klux Klan and all that, they went through some terrible times. Not to say that the people who moved to the north didn't go through terrible times, or the people who moved to Africa or wherever didn't go through terrible times, but it was 1960 when things began to change. And today, people won't believe that you're facing the same issue. You're not coming out of slavery.
That's trash.
What we come out is false idea that all of us will sit down with the Caucasian like lambs among wolves. And the wolves gonna eat grass with the sheep. You being the sheep. And the Caucasian being the wolf. It will never happen. Anytime you see a wolf eating grass, it is sick. Anytime you see a dog eating grass, it is sick. You have one slave master today, let's call him Joe Biden, who was giving $1 billion a day to Ukraine or whoever else around the world you want to give it to. And he's giving $100 a day to black people, black women specifically. And you got this idea that we are getting something, or some of us got this idea that we are getting something. And we are going in on Trump as being the mean bastard and call him all kind of names. I've heard people, And when I say, look, man, this don't make sense, they strike back at me. However, I don't care for Trump. I don't care for Biden either. Both of them, in my opinion, are slave masters. You can look at their history. Some people see Biden as a pro-war man, but don't see Trump as one. Huh? Both are neocons. But the thing is now, Trump is saying, look, I'm not even going to give you money. You got to find your own money. Just like after the Civil War and after slavery, so you got your choice. Leave. Garvey came to America preaching, let's leave America and Europe, go back to Africa. And in that day too, a lot of people jumped on him. Even people in the Caribbean jumped on him from his own village. In Jamaica, they jumped on him and said, no. We're not going there. Because we got better here in Jamaica. We got it better. But they didn't make it better. The Chinese came and got better. The Indians came and got better. Indians came in as servants now, slaves. They were the slaves after black people. Chinese were the slaves after black people in the Caribbean. You don't believe me? Read the history. And now the Chinese are running the country. The Indians running the country. All throughout the Caribbean. In Haiti, the Lebanese, and they came after the black Haitians, who freed even Hispaniola, all of Hispaniola, and now on the other side, the speak Spanish are killing Haitians. Me, I don't have time to argue with you. Don't. I'm just pointing out to you that this man Trump is saying, I ain't giving you no more money like Biden did. You got to build for yourself. And your fear is making you strike out at people who are telling you, hey, you're not seeing this picture correctly. Your fear is causing you to react angrily. But you will be like the people who stayed in the South. Jim Crow is waiting. That's what you call it, Jim Crow. It's up to you to choose which way you want to do. Choose this day whom you will serve. And what your service, who your service is going to benefit. Is it going to benefit you and your future generation? Or are you going to stay underneath the Brooklyn Bridge, around Flatbush Avenue, and on the San Francisco Bridge, and in Chicago, and the West Side, and the South Side? Every city got this little area that's set apart when this thing gets going. Yes, there'll be a few of you that 0.001% that's going to be still wearing your top hat, your bow tie, your purple tie, and showing up, throwing up the hand signs, and calling yourself Greek letters. There'll be a few of you, but the vast majority, don't get upset with me. Don't get mad at me. Just look at the history, bro. The history is there. And it's not just one time. It happens every time. Every time we come to a situation like we have today, the people who suffer are who? Just think about it. Well, maybe you don't want to think about it. You're too upset now. But when the sword, don't forget the sword cut both ways, you know. This is not a Mohammedan sword. The sword of the Father cut both ways. The knowledge cuts both ways. If you don't believe me, ask Eve. Peace.